La, 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 la. Hey, this is a song for my haters. Yeah, y'all got me feeling like the greatest.
Throw, dropping the pass in trouble. He gets the pass away over the middle, and it's picked off at the 20-yard line. Dansby makes the interception.
Welcome back. You're now tuned in to an episode of Press Coverage Podcast. Of course, you know I'm your host, E. Dansby. And today I got another CSRA basketball legend sitting in with us. Former Butler Bulldog. This guy definitely is a walking bucket. He's the all-time leading scorer at Butler High School, man, by the way of Lawson Junior College, also by the way of South Alabama and Cal University, man. There's no other, man. It's Don Coleman. What's up, brother?
Yes, sir. What up, my boy? Everything good?
Definitely want to say thank you for coming down here, taking out the time sitting with me, man. I definitely appreciate it, bro. But before we dive into your journey, man, your amazing basketball journey, just coming from here to Augusta, all the way to things you've been able to do. I first want to get your initial thoughts on just the CSRA in high school basketball, the things that we've seen these women teams do, these men teams do. We have a total of 11 state championships here in the past 8 years, man. So what's your thoughts on it?
Man, I like it, man. Everybody be getting way better. The coaches doing better. The players playing better. Better teams. Like, everything coming together down here, man. They've been winning a lot, so I'm proud of them.
Yeah, they definitely have, man. When you think about, 8 years ago, you're talking about 2015 to 2023. You got Josie girls, they win one. Laney girls win one. Cross Creek girls win one. Cross Creek boys, they win 2 in a row. Westside boys just win 2 in a row.
Butler made it there. They lost, but
Butler made it there and played against Westside in the state championship. And now you got North Augusta girls who definitely always been the standard.
Always going crazy.
They've won, 4. They've won 4, and I think 4 out of 6 or something like that. So it's definitely everything's definitely trending up right now here in Augusta when you talk about high school basketball, and it's becoming a basketball city, man. So diving right into your story, bro. I know you're here from Augusta. Here in Augusta, basketball is the culture for us. Whether we're playing on the court, whether we're playing in the gym or recreation, AAU, whatever it may be, it's just in us to play from a young age, man. So when did you find your love for the game of basketball?
Probably when I moved down here from New York at the age of like 12 or 13, maybe, man.
Okay.
Around that age, and then so I just started playing outside for real. Then next thing you know, I met one of my best friends growing up, Kenny, and he introduced me to like AAU, and then from there it was up, man.
Yeah, man. And when you say you moved from here from New York, and we know what New York brings when it comes to basketball, it's like the Mecca. When you talk about New York City and Madison Square Garden and everything that was, you got some of your best basketball players and legends that come from New York City. So I'm pretty sure it already was in you before you even got here to Augusta, and in Augusta now catching that wave with being just like a premier city in basketball here in the state of Georgia. And when I was coming along, you had guys like your Ricky Moores, William Mabry, Vontigo Cummins, Antonio Grant, who played over at North Augusta. These guys were who we wanted to be coming up, here in like that late 90s period, early 2000s, and we heard about all these guys. So, man, diving right into your journey, man, you spent 2 years at Seago, 1 year at Morgan Road, man. After playing AAU, you got a lot of basketball up under your belt. You guys able to win the middle school championship in your 6th grade year, man, playing with a lot of older guys who done their thing. So what was that experience like for you just playing middle school ball?
Man, it was good, man. I made it my 6th grade year. 6th grade usually they don't make it like their first year. So I made it my first year. We had a good team. Ron, Mike, Tyrone, like I told you, man, a lot of GOATs from Augusta, man, that I looked up to, and they just showed me the ropes. And I took that to 7th grade, 8th grade when I went to Morgan Road. I just kept it going.
Yeah, I feel you, man. Like you said, when you mentioned that, I was on the team in 6th grade, and I just remember when I came through middle school, 6th graders, we couldn't even play. So I was like the manager on the team. Yeah, couldn't try out, couldn't play, couldn't do none of that. And so now you say, well, when I was in 6th grade, we won it. So that just lets you know the exposure that our young kids are getting now. That our 6th graders can now step on the level and play
and hold their own
in 8th grade. Because I remember I had Zep Jasper down here one time. And I remember he had been the starting point guard at Langford from 6th grade all the way to the 8th grade.
Crazy.
Was able to win like multiple championships at Langford, man. And now, and I went to Langford. Langford, I feel like they've been the standard. They still win. They've been the standard in middle school basketball, man.
Facts.
And like I said, that speaks on just how the culture has become so basketball dominant. Where from a young age, we now can go compete even at 6th grade at 10 and 11 years old, 11, 12 years old, whenever that age is when you thrust into middle school, you compete with these guys that's getting ready to go to, high school.
Holding your own, too.
Yeah, and definitely, he was definitely a guy that went and held his own, man. I'm pretty sure you were as well. So, you play middle school ball, man, and at some point you decide to go to Butler. And at Butler, you're playing for Coach Body, man, but you're following guys like an old school legend on the court, like a Dino Yardberry or a Marcus Curry and many others that we know. That's just to name a few, man.
Marcus.
So, what were just some expectations for you going into Butler?
Man, man, I just knew like straight off the bat that I just wanted to play like straight varsity. And then when I talked to Body coming out of 8th grade, he told me like, you know, you're gonna be playing big minutes, man. You ain't gonna be playing JV, man. You're gonna be in 9th grade. I'm just throw you in the water, throw you in the fire. And I was ready from day one, man. To be honest with you, like it took some adjusting. It took some time to get adjusted, but like I was there all summer. Then my 9th grade year rolled around, then I was good from there, man. Learning from the older guys.
For sure, man. And shout out to that because you know sometimes as a 9th grader, and we see it a lot now. We didn't see it a lot back then. You might have been one of the first just kind of start that trend where you seen the 9th graders now playing on the varsity level. Like I said, that's all. You looking back at the AAU and all the hours of basketball and all the practice time, the repetition that you get in. Now you're able to, you go in the 9th grade and now you're playing on the varsity, man. So, you know, you get the Butler and your freshman, you guys go 17-10, man, 8-2 in the region. And, you know, like you said, you're led by some older guys, but in your, you know, in your sophomore year, that was when we really see Don Coleman come out and do his thing. He averaged, you know, 24 points per game, man. So how was that, just that first year just dominating high school basketball?
Man, it felt good, man. I was ready. We had a squad too, man, but it felt real good, man. My sophomore year, I think that's when I took that jump, like, well, I knew I could really, like, you know, hold my own. And every game I knew I had to get at least 25 to 30, just, you know, just for us to stay in the game and just to win the game. But we had a squad, man. Me and Ron was like one of the best duos in the city that year, man, going crazy.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't. And like, you know, being someone that was away from the city, you know, of course I'm a football player, but you looking back and you're seeing you know, what's going on back in the city, man. You know, like you said, Ron was a name that I heard. Definitely your name, a name that I heard. And like I said, we had Dreads in here, and he was like, you know, the guys that he was looking up to at Butler, you know, what you guys was able to do back, you know, during that time period, man, was definitely big time, bro.
Crazy.
Definitely big time. So, man, you have a magnificent sophomore year. You get into your junior year, you nearly average 25 points per game, man. And as a senior, you average 24 points per game. And you ultimately finish as the all-time leader in points in Butler basketball history, and that's amazing because when you think about Butler basketball and all the caliber of players that have come through Butler, you know, being the all-time leading scorer. Now you mentioned with the Dino Yarborough, the Marcus Curry, and all these other, you know, Butler greats. You know, now you're looking back on it now in hindsight. How does that make you feel now?
It made me feel good, man, because I've been watching Butler since I was little. Like I told you, since my brother was playing JV for Coach Stewart, like I've been around Butler, so. Just to look back at me being an all-time leading scorer, that's crazy, man. I still be thinking about it like that's crazy.
It is crazy, man. You finished with, you know, 2,071 points, man. You know, you thrust yourself into Butler history. No one has been able to break that record yet. So you're still now, as we speak,
all-time leading
scorer. So basically a living legend. Sometimes people, they become legends after they leave here, but you're a legend here now. And then you kind of embrace it more. Now you here, back thrust into the community, man.
Trying to get back to the young boys,
getting back to the youth, and we're going to get into that in the podcast, man. You know, you just being here now, working with the youth on a daily basis. But it's definitely something great that you can kind of look back. Like I had, you know, records back at Richmond, and a few records, none of them really broke, you know what I mean? But it's been a lot of football players that came.
Good ones too.
Yeah, there was a lot of good football players behind me at Richmond, you know. So we definitely kind of set that standard and tradition, and you know, of winning. And then they kind of had some years where they kind of toppled off, and I don't think it's just because of the program. I think it's just because of the resources. The coaches here are, not resources. Then we got some great quality coaches here, but I just believe that sometimes a lot of coaches are thrust into the position that they're not ready for, and so now the team lacks the athletes. They start, you know, you take away from that, and this is kind of this doesn't go the way you wanted to go. But now you got a guy like Keenan Grissom over at Richmond who's now taking
doing his thing,
has taken over as the head coach there, man. Guy that I known from way back, you know what I mean? He's definitely done this thing as offensive coordinator. Now he's getting this shot at a head coaching job, and shout out to him for that, man. So, you know, as any great high school athlete, basketball player, you got aspirations of going on to the next level. I'm pretty sure you did. So what was just like the recruiting process like for you?
Recruitment throughout high school, it was cool, man. Like I said, I played for the Southern Kings AAU, so we had a lot of like talented players on our team, like from Laney, from Westside, like all over. But we had like some of the best players. So recruit-wise, it was good. Going into my senior year, I think I had something from like Georgia Tech, Georgia Southern, Georgia, like some interest, but then FAU was on me hard.
Yeah,
and Michael Curry, you know, he went to Glen Hills. He was the coach at that time, he was on me hard. So he showed me a lot of love, so I ended up committing there my senior year, FAU. But some things I ended up working out, so I had to go to the junior college route, like I told you. And that's when I ended up landing at Lawson, man, Austin State.
Man. So like you said, man, we just like you said, you just mentioned, you know, you were supposed to go to FAU for whatever reason. It didn't work out, man. You decided to go to Lawson State Community College. That's down in Birmingham, Alabama. JuCo for everybody is different.
Different, man.
It's different. You know, sometimes you got JuCos where life is good. Sometimes you got it where it's not so good. So how was the JuCo experience for you?
Well, it was good. I made it good regardless. Like Birmingham, we was in the slums. Like I college like right across from the place where First 48 was at. Like it was crazy. Our dorms, all that. But I met a lot of people out there. I grew as a man out there for sure. Just grinding every day, getting out the mud, and I knew like I was gonna stay there 1 year and get a hot major. Like that was my mindset, like off the rip, and it happened.
Just stay down and grind, man. And something definitely did happen for you. But like you said, talking about JuCo, it's just a grind. And I never played in JuCo. I went straight from high school to college and got that experience. But I've played with multiple guys, talked to multiple guys from multiple different sports that been to JuCo, and some is always it's a grind.
Facts. That's the first thing they say. It's a grind.
It's a grind. It's a mindset. You know, it's not sometimes maybe not the best living situations, the best meal situations, whatever it may be. You just know that sometimes it's not the best. You know what I mean? And just to have that mindset says a lot, because you're away from home for one, and you're trying to make the best of a situation. You're trying to get back to where you were supposed to be.
Facts, right back on track.
That's it, man. And you did that, man. So, JuCo was a temporary stop for you, man. On your journey, you decided to take your talents out west. You decided to go to the University of Cal.
Yes, sir.
What came make you to that decision?
Man, Cal, just it being in the Pac-12 alone, like once they called, like I already knew off the rip, like yeah, I'm going here. Yeah. Then I had a good relationship with Conzo Martin, Tracy Webster, both of them recruited me. Jalen Brown, I knew Jalen Brown from playing with Jalen Brown from like camps when we was like a sophomore in high school. Like yeah, we played in the same camp together, Fab Frost. So he played there. Who else played there? Some other dudes that I knew played there. So like going there was kind of easy because I had a good relationship with all the coaches for real. And it was Cali, so then like I told you, it was Pac-12, so
Pac-12.
And it was high major. So
anytime you hear Pac-12, Big Ten, SEC, Big 12, that definitely a draw a young athlete in. And it's some good basketball out there in California. You playing out there during that time. You definitely had like your Alonzos. They're playing for UCLA. You got different other schools that have some great players, man. So you get to Cal, man. You contribute right away. But in your junior year, that's when we see you explode again on the scoring scene. You average 14 points per game, and you explode in games for like 31 points, 30 points, 35 points. You got a stretch of 6 games with 20-plus points. So what was that junior year like for you, man? Just now being the man, going back to being Don Coleman from Butler, scoring all these points.
It was good, man. We didn't win a lot, but like it was just a good experience for me, just to see how it was, just to be the man and like go through situations that I didn't want to go to that I still learned from, go through good situations, like you said, dropping 30, 31, 35, all that was cool, man. Like, yeah, it was cool. It was good, bro.
Yeah, and at that time, that's when I really started kind of hearing about you, man. Because at that time, I'm out of college, man. I'm doing my NFL thing, and you're looking at all the athletes, like, man, Augusta got a lot of athletes playing, D1, and you hear about them, but you don't hear them. But I feel like we could definitely cover our guys here from the area a little bit better when they get to this next level.
Facts, because all we had was like Chad, AugBBall. That's really all we had covering us from like high school, college, all that. He made sure he stayed on us. But like you said, we need more, like more people to dive in.
We definitely need more people to kind of come in and step in and thrust themselves into the media world to kind of get the spotlight on our guys. Because we definitely got a lot of guys from Augusta that have done big things, and we got guys that are continuing doing big things right now, man.
So, right now.
And you have a good junior year there, man. You have a good senior year there. I mean, a good sophomore year there. Then you have a good junior year there. And then your senior year, man, you decide to go to South Alabama.
Yep, South Alabama.
So just tell us about that experience.
Went to South Alabama. I just wanted to get a little closer to home, man, to be honest with you. And I was kind of like tired of losing, man. So I was like, man, let me just try to go to like a little mid-major and win some games and just try to grow as a player and grow as a man. And that's kind of what I did there at South Alabama. It didn't go how I wanted to go. Like I went through a lot of stuff at South Alabama, but like I told you, man, be a man off the court more than on the court. So like at the end of the day, looking back on it, like I'm glad I went through it, even though it was tough, but like I told you, it made me a man for real, like on and off the court. So I'm blessed to go through all that stuff I went through there.
That's what's up, man. I feel like, in sports, there's going to always be a level of adversity that are going to try you, not only in the sport, but they're going to prepare you for outside of the sport. Like you said, I don't know what you went through at South Alabama. I know pretty sure I read that you battled some injuries and whatnot, and that's tough within itself because you come here to play ball and then you're not playing, and that's kind of like, well, this is what I come here for. Of course, you're a student athlete first to get your education, but you also come to play basketball, and when you can't do that, I know that has to be difficult. Yeah, it has to be way heavy on the mind. But so you there at South Alabama. You got your degree from South Alabama. So
got my degree.
You get your degree, man. And
that was the main thing. My mom wanted me to get my degree. Like throughout that season, like I wanted to quit. Like I wanted to stop. Like everything. I was going through so much, but one thing my mama told me, like, make sure you get your degree because you're going to need your degree. Like, once basketball done or when you're done playing, like, that degree going to help you out. And
yeah, definitely. Man, that degree, I tell people all the time, you can only play the sport you know, for so long. You know, I mean, I look at, you know, coming out of App State, and then, you know, everything I was able to do at there, and then coming out, you know, in the NFL. You only played 4 years, and now just like, man, I'm in the trucking business now.
Like what I'm gonna do, yup.
And it's just like, man, it's so fast.
It happened quick too.
You know, and I'm 31, and that's not extremely old. It's still pretty much young.
Yep. You probably think it's old, but in reality, it's young.
I see from 24 leaving college to now 31. I've done all that. That was just in a 7-year period.
Crazy.
And now 7 years later, you know, football is definitely not in the plan. Of course, I stay connected to the sport. We're doing this podcast.
Giving
and
back.
try to stay connected to you guys where we can come out here and tell our stories and give back to the younger guys and pay homage to like someone like you, some of our older guys, right?
Facts.
But you know, like I said, that 7-year span went by so fast.
Quick, man.
It's like, damn, where did the time
Quick,
go?
bro.
And your coaches always tell you that.
Every
but you
time,
don't really
bro.
imagine. You don't really realize.
You don't even
it
think of it
until you get out here and you're not in the fire anymore. And now you have to find your love for the game in a different way and kind of transition your, what I want to say, your passion.
couldn't have said it better.
Either give back or do podcasts or however it may be. You know, you have to just find ways to, because the fire still burns within you.
Facts.
Because I mean, you're not playing anymore right now, but I'm pretty sure that the fire's still burning in you.
Gotta stay connected some way.
Yeah, for sure. But you know, leaving South Alabama, man, battling through those injuries, many things that you did. But you know, pretty sure you probably had aspirations maybe playing pro. Did you know? How did that
you know, so we got out like during COVID hit, like they just sent us home because I graduated 2020. So like,
yeah, that's a tough year.
We was in the middle, like we had practice the same day COVID hit, and then like we had practice, and the coach was like, yeah, the season over, like everything over, everybody got to go home. So we had to leave like the next day. Then like,
yeah, because it hit in March.
Yeah, it hit him. Yeah, we was like,
so that was like the thrust. That was like right there in the thrust of the season.
That was our conference tournament. We was like 2 seed, 2 in our conference. We was playing good. We was like on the 8-game winning streak and everything, bro. Like everything was up. Then COVID happened. Everybody got sent home. I wanted to go overseas. I had some offers and stuff like that, but like once I got home, man, I got my son. He was like 2 years old at the time, and we had just found out like he had autism and stuff like that. So like once I found out my son like had autism, like basketball kind of just like I wasn't even thinking about
season put it on.
I couldn't leave him again. I already missed like when he was 1. I was in South Alabama when he was 1, so I kind of missed like all of that stuff because I was away. So I was like I can't really miss nothing else. And I had to learn about the autism stuff, so I had to get tuned in like real life. That was difficult, but. I think I made the right decision. Well, I know I made the right decision just focusing on him.
Because at the end of the day, man, like I said, as athletes, it's definitely serious to us. We take it with us serious, but, you know, also we have to grow up and be men as well.
Facts.
And part of being a man is just taking care of your family. And I know, you know, like I said, you had to take care of your son.
Yes, sir.
And it came a decision for me when playing football. You know, I could have kept chasing the dream, but I had a bad foot injury. I had to make a decision, man. Do you want to limp around all your life, or do you want to be, you know, regular? And I'm good now, you know, at 31. But at that time, 27, 28 years old,
keep going.
Wanted to keep going, but had to make a decision that was best for, you know, at the time what I had going on.
And
I have a daughter, and, you know, and a family, so now I have to say.
Facts. Real man decisions, man. That's what I be trying to tell my students and stuff like that, man. Once I get older, y'all gonna have to start making like real man, real life decisions.
Sure. And I tell young athletes all the time, because I see so many kids. We living in a different age for one right now.
Facts.
But I tell kids all the time, man, you know, don't rush being an adult.
I be telling that every day in my class, man. Every day.
So many young athletes, you know, they want jobs and they're doing different minutes. I said, man, you got so much time to work. I'm not saying having a job is bad.
I know exactly what you mean, though.
Because to be independent and make your own money and kind of alleviate your parents of some of that, you know, financial stress, that is rewarding.
Facts.
But at the same time, you know, you still want to keep that amateurism of playing high school sports, because that can take you further than working at KFC, further than working at football.
Facts. You can do all that later, like facts.
You definitely got time to do that, because when it comes time to do it, it's going to be days where you don't want to do it.
Yep.
So what do you do when you don't want to do something? You have to do something.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So don't let nobody put you in the position to have to do something that you don't want to do, because these things can change your life. So you can wake up every day and enjoy what you do, and you'll never work a day in your life.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying? So I always
exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. So I always tell people that, young people that, you know, people still in, you know, 15, 16, 17 in high school, you know, even some of those that are in college. Like understanding, like, you know, what's the main goal? What's the goal that the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is to be successful. Ultimate goal is to make as much money as you can so if you take care of yourself, take care of your family, whatever endeavor that may be. You know what I mean? So get your degree, man, and now you're back in Augusta, man. I see that you're working in the school system. Now you're a teacher, right?
Yeah, man. Spirit Creek Middle.
So you're in the middle school. So you right there at where these kids are definitely changing from baby to
8th grade too, man. 8th grade science. Yeah, 8th grade, man.
So you getting everything up. So, you know, man, how has it been just, you know, interacting with these kids every day?
Man, I be thinking about it every day once I leave school. Like I kind of love it, to be honest with you, man. I never thought I would be a teacher, but like seeing different kids, you know, different kids got different personalities, building different relationships with different kids. Like mostly all the kids in that school already know me, bro. I only been there for like 3 weeks, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I put my picture with Steph Curry on the wall so they can see like it's possible, man. I put my
Yeah,
picture with
for
playing
sure.
against
They
Lonzo
need to
Ball,
see it. They need
all
to
that. They
see
see all that. So every day they ask me millions of questions. Like,
That's what's
even
up.
kids that's not my students, like they still Mr. Coleman ask me millions of questions. So like,
Yeah.
I like it, bro. I like it,
That's
man.
what's up, man. I know
Like
I know that has to be rewarding because I'm pretty sure you received many awards and many accolades behind your name. Especially with the stellar player you've been. But there's no other reward better than being able to make an impact on someone else's life. And I'm pretty sure with those pictures and everything you've been able to do and just giving back and telling those kids your story has definitely been an impact in their lives. Because you don't know where a kid goes to when he leaves school. Where he comes from when he comes to school. So you may be changing their lives and making it seem like whatever situation I'm in, this is possible because Mr. Coleman done it.
Facts.
And I feel like it's just
That's what I be trying to tell them too.
yeah. I feel like for us, for one, being black men in this community and in the climate that we're living in, especially when we seen things that happened at Butler over the past week or so, things that might have happened at Josie over the last 2 weeks or so, it's definitely very unfortunate. And we need more men like you, like myself, definitely coming into the school system and being teaching and showing out, all kids,
All races,
all races that these things are possible, and
Very
if you
possible.
be positive,
Positive.
it can definitely
I
happen.
be telling them every day, stay positive, man. Stay
Gotta
positive.
stay positive, man.
And like
Gotta
every
stay
day, the students ask me, Mr. Coleman, why you a teacher? Why you not overseas? They ask me the same question you asked me.
Yeah.
I swear, and I just laugh because I don't want to get all to it, but I just tell them like I had to make a real life decision, man. Sometimes I have to make real life
And I tell
decisions.
people sometimes, man, your calling may not be in the sport.
Facts.
But you can use the sport to get to your calling. Because the calling may not be basketball anymore, but you can bring basketball and your experience in the classroom to change
Facts.
someone else's life.
Exactly what I be doing, man.
And man, I'm pretty sure at Spirit Creek, they that's the side of town where it's mostly predominantly black.
Yeah.
And in our predominantly black communities, we have kids that are suffering from all type of different stuff that they can't control.
Facts.
So we need black men like yourself in the classroom, being an example.
Giving back to them.
Giving back, man. That's
What
what it's
we
all
doing.
about, man. And that's what this podcast is all about, man.
Facts.
This was built on giving back.
Giving back.
Going somewhere.
Giving people their
doing
flowers like you've been
giving
doing.
some people their flowers, giving Don Coleman his opportunity because we done had plenty of basketball players come here and do great things. But, who's actually sitting these guys down, letting them tell their own journey, why it didn't go this way or
Facts.
why it did go this way, you know what I mean? And we just need, I feel like it's my duty just to get that out there.
Facts.
And now we can gravitate more students to Mr. Coleman. And now before they get ready to do something that's maybe just a little far out there,
They come talk to me first.
come talk to
And they've been
Mr.
doing that
Coleman.
already, which is crazy, man.
And I'm pretty sure that has definitely made a difference.
Facts.
Whether we see it or not, it's definitely made a difference. You know what I mean? So, like you said, and you're a person, man, who we just stated, man, you work closely with the kids every day and you're giving back now, man. But just in your words, what would just be your advice to a young woman, a young man that want to go and do the things that you've done in whatever endeavor, just be successful? What would be your advice to them, bro?
Man, just stay humble and stay hungry, man. I got that tattooed on me. Stay humble and stay hungry. Like,
Humble and hungry.
yeah, humble and hungry. No matter if it's going good, bad, great. Like, you're going to have some good days, like you said, some bad days. But
So it's part of being in it.
facts, man. Every day is a new day. Just stay humble and stay hungry, man, and just keep going. The
That's what's
good,
up.
bad, worse. It's always going to get better in due time, man.
Yeah, due time, man. Like
Facts.
you said, and that's definitely something, man, I can lean on here, with this podcast, man, that, I started this thing from scratch, man. And, me and David, we talk about numbers all the time, when we come in here. Like, what's the numbers looking like? I'm saying, man, they're steady. He's like, your page is growing, is increasing.
Facts.
You only done a few podcasts, but I try to remain humble and I try to stay hungry. That passion that I had when I approached the football field, I try to take it in here. And,
Same.
kind of transition that energy and say, you know what, I'm coming here, I'm gonna compete. We're gonna get some good guests here. Maybe we're gonna ask some good questions. We're gonna tell these guys story. We're gonna get some women in here and tell their story as well.
Facts.
too,
There's a
bro.
lot of good women that
There's a
came
lot of
through here,
women-
too,
a
like
lot
you
of good
said.
women, man. A lot of great
Facts.
women basketball players that come through the CSRA.
Facts.
So like I said, to get some of these women down here, man.
We're going to do that. We're going to make sure that happen, man, because this is going to go crazy. And then next we're going to keep it rolling, man, for sure.
That's it, man. Got to keep it rolling, bro.
So-
Man. And like I said, man, that's a word for us, man. Stay humble and stay hungry, man. I definitely can lean on that, bro. So, man,
Facts.
hey, I try to keep these, podcasts down to a minimum, bro. I definitely appreciate you coming
Facts,
through,
man.
Coleman, man. And man, I wish you the best of luck, man.
Appreciate it, man.
Want to say thank you, bro, for coming back, man, giving back to our youth. We can never do that enough. We have to build our community up, bro. And it got to take guys like yourself to build it up, because you can relate to them.
Yep.
When you're relatable,
Facts.
that's when it matters.
Yep,
They
that's
can't listen. They're not gonna listen to someone that's 50, 60
Yep.
years old that wasn't in their time. We're living amongst their time. We can look back and say, I remember being at Spirit Creek. You remember being at Seagull.
Facts.
You
Morgan
remember
Road.
being at Morgan
I tell them
Road.
that every day,
You
man. I
remember
promise
being
you.
at Butler.
Facts.
Not so long ago. You know what I mean? If you if it was to split your age in half, you was right in that position.
I be telling them that every day, every day.
14, 15 years can go by so fast. 20 years can go by so fast, and
you know,
you can make a bad decision today that'll hurt you 25 years down the road. You know, we don't want to see our youth do that, men or women. You know what I mean? So, man, hey, man, from me and you, man, hey, bro.
Appreciate you, man.
Definitely
Thank you,
appreciate
bro.
you coming through the podcast, man. Definitely appreciate everything you're doing every day with our youth, brother. Hey, this is Press Coverage Podcast, man. This is episode 18, man. I'm sitting here with the walking bucket, man, the CSRA legend, the all-time leading scorer at Butler High School, man, Don Coleman, bro. We out of here, man.
At the 20-yard line, Dansby makes the interception.